What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to ECC Season 8 Vortex Playoffs. And after the abysmalness that was the hat that you all saw before the break, I'm pretty sure we'll be in for a juicy series. My name is Mikey, and of course, I'm not on my own. I'm joined by the legend that is Dennis. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. But I actually like the head of Victor. I really like the head, and I respect him having the head on at the end of last series. I don't have a head here, otherwise I would have put it on. But yeah, I'm not joined in head gang, so I have to leave Victor alone in the head gang. But yeah, here we are. It is the losers bracket final, of course, between Orgless and Mercury eSports. Two great teams, of course. Mercury eSports, third place in league play, and Orgless actually lost, which was quite surprising. They were pretty much unbeaten. They only lost in the last week of league play with a forfeit. And, that was, quite remarkable to see Little Women's taking the win over Orgless, of course, in the winners bracket round 1. So Little Women's in the grand final waiting for one of these two teams. Of course, Mercury eSports, we've just seen them playing a best of 7, a game 7 against 1-2-4Q, of course, the winners of the series. We're Mercury eSports going to also lose a bracket final right now. Here they are, and they're going to play against Orgless.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great game, as you can see the bracket on your screen at the moment. It's been a good run for both of these teams coming, Orgless coming off that loss early on. But it's going to be one of them where they're warmed up, they're ready, and I think it's going to be a very juicy game. I think it can go either way. Do you care to cast a prediction?
If I would have to make a prediction, I think I'm just going for Orgless. I think they're just a little bit a better team. Of course, league play showed that they are, a phenomenal team. And I think, in the end, I think it's going to be a game 6, a 4-2 win for Orgless to join, of course, Little Waymans again in the upper bracket final, the grand final of the Vortex division. But finally, we can get things kicked off here in this game number 1 of this best of 7 series. We see Milne, Force, and Nugget for Orgless, and on Mercury eSports in the orange we see Blau, Benny, and Tommy, like we've just seen in the game 7, of course. But now already here, 14 seconds in this game number 1, Mercury eSports already in the lead.
Yeah, fairly quick out of the bat there. There's a little bit of shambolic defending from the defense, and honestly, you can't afford to have that bad placement. You have to have your rotations on point, and it's not even 15 seconds into the game, and already someone has a goal.
Already a goal here. Nearly stopped there for Mercury eSports, and you could maybe say that they are a little bit tired after last series. Of course, the best of 7, the game 7 as well. Really intense series against 1-2-4Q, but they were the winners of that series, being really happy with that, and straight put into this new series, a new best of 7. Game number 1, of course, but they have a good start. But here Nugget is with the shot and actually gets it in. The first shot, well, actually the second shot of Nugget. And it is the first goal for Orgless, which will be equalizing this game number 1.
Yeah, and if that is going to be, if you're going to be as bad as they were initially, you've got to come out of the gate strong, and that is exactly what they've done. And now potentially halted that momentum. We're all even, and that is exactly what you have to do when you are at this level of gameplay.
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about the level of gameplay, and of course here in the Vortex division, you can't get any higher than this division. The Vortex division playoffs, best of the best, but now nearly this shot got in from Milne, but it just falls off the crossbar now. Tommy helps it up, Force needs to get it, he doesn't get a touch. Tommy, not the best touch either, just puts it wide, and Nugget now on the wall for Orgless, tries to do something with the ball. Blau will just get a little touch, Tommy follows it up from him. Tommy now gets another touch. Benny with the follow-up, but Blau now. Last man needs to get it. He puts it wide, puts it to his own corner. Milne there to take it over for Mercury eSports. In the corner now, Nugget waiting there, trying to challenge Blau. Blau puts it over him. Benny now with the follow-up, but yeah, this is his opponent every time. Mercury tries to do something. It is Mercury eSports being in the way of that. Force tries to get out Milne. There's a little bit of time to work with, pops it up. No one really there to follow, and now I see a lot from Orgless. They're just trying to get the ball forwards, but every time there isn't really a follow-up there, which you would expect from a team like this.
Yeah, at this level you expect a lot better gameplay than what we've seen, and it seems like the very basics are sort of missing so far. It is sort of scrambling, and maybe it is a bit of the pressure at the end of the day. This is the lower bracket final of the highest division within ECC, so it is a high pressure situation. Maybe that pressure's getting to them because it's basic rotations that are sort of missing. They're kind of not connecting with each other, and they're just throwing it here, there, and everywhere, and a little bit of ball chasing, really. So hopefully that will improve as we move further into the game, and hopefully it'll be a little less shambolic.
Yeah, well, we have to see. It's only game number 1, but right now it is Orgless being in the lead force with the shot, and Mercury eSports couldn't really do much against it. They were just in goal with Falls, and it is a great redirect, to be honest. Just from the corner, gets it again. Tommy tried to save it, but it is a really good read from Falls, getting until now, the best goal of the game. 3 goals now, 2 for Orgless, 1 for Mercury eSports. So now we saw a good set from Mercury eSports, but Orgless, just like we expected, they have a really, really good comeback here.
Good comeback. 2 minutes at 20 on the clock. Sforza just hits it up for now. But again, the mid-air battles are so close and so quick, which is exactly what it needs to be as it comes straight back into the area. The shot is off, and the save has to be made. And that is the sort of thing that you don't want to be seeing if you are Orgless. You need it out of that area, and you need it gone quickly.
Definitely now the ball falls into the middle. Benny will get the equalizer, and I did not really expect that, to be honest. No defender there really from Orgless being in position. It is, quite an easy center ball. No really back post, no really in the middle of the goal to defend that. Both players from Orgless just standing front post, not really the best position. Benny will get his second goal of the game, will get a second goal for Mercury eSports as well. Tommy trying to get a third for Mercury eSports. Doesn't get it this time though. Now double commit coming out of Orgless. Easily saved here by Benny. Nugget goes up to the wall, tries to get another hit, gets past Benny. It is on target. Tommy will just clear it out for now. Smil gets bumped by Benny from the backboard. A double whiff there from the players of Mercury eSports, but still Tommy being able to get that save. But a little bit, some defensive mistakes in the defense of Mercury eSports. So do you think, Orgless can capitalize on that in this game number 1 still?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility, but right now it's just coming in thick and fast, hitting the crossbar, hitting the backboard. But it was like you mentioned earlier, the defense just wasn't there again for Orgless, and that seems to be the problem. Why have we got four goals so far? Because of shambolic defending like that. Where is the defense? There was nothing Houdini about it. It was slow. It was easy because the rotation just wasn't on point.
Yeah, Nugget going for that 100 boost. Maybe should have taken a little bit of a shorter rotation there, but it is a really good dunk from Blau at first place, all by himself. Gets it into the open net after as well. And with 1 minute to go now, really the time is ticking for Orgless to get that equalizer again. A save now from Mill. Now in the follow it will be Tommy putting the cushion to 2 goals now. Mercury eSports having a really good lead here. 56 seconds to go.
Yeah, it just comes in really nicely. Tommy just slots it home again, and to be fair to Milne, what are you supposed to do? There isn't loads you can do in that situation if it just keeps coming back at you. And it's one of them where now that lead has been doubled, and Mercury eSports on the way to winning that game 1, unless something changes and changes quickly.
Well, yeah, it needs to happen quickly then, really. In Orgless, they need to put their stuff together. Of course, they had a little bit of a break, and of course, we just saw Mercury eSports coming out of that game 7, so they might have, their fingers still warm from last series, which maybe helped them here in game number 1. Of course, they have a 2-goal lead against Orgless, the team that we, predicted to do really, really well, but of course, we saw them lose the first series, and now in the second series, being down by 1 game. If they can't score within 20 seconds, well, score twice actually within, 15 seconds from now on. I don't think it's gonna happen. They are trying though. It will be Milne with his shot, but it's getting blocked there by Tommy. Oh, there's not the best touch. He's going to be in his own goal. Milne will get it on his name. I believe that's a big own goal there for Mercury eSports.
Yeah, about 9 seconds on the clock. It is a do or die at this point for both of these teams. They need that momentum and they need it early. 9 seconds on the clock. It was stupid moves there on the part of Mercury eSports. And honestly, at this point, they need to control the ball, waste time, and keep it close to them as we count down to that final few seconds.
Oh my Force, he does it in game number 1. A 0-second goal. I mean, I said it, they need to get some goals really quickly. Well, they brought it to the last second pretty much, but they did it on the side crossbar, and Force has a beautiful goal. He already scored a bang of a goal early on in this game number 1. But ladies and gentlemen, a 0-second goal in game number 1 puts this game number 1 to an OT, but that OT will not last long, as Mercury eSports, quick response from them straight from the kickoff, will win this game either way.
Yeah, let's just... I'm struggling to find what Orgless were trying to do there. You know, one player went for boost, fine. One player went for the ball. But then what was the other person doing? Sit in the net! It was the most basic error. And when you are at this level, you simply can't do that. You know, we got to give credit to Orgless for actually coming back from that at the end. It was very high intensity there. But you've got to have your positioning sorted, because the rotations and them very basic stuff that we know these teams have, because otherwise you wouldn't be at this point. Ooh, that pressure's getting to them.
Yeah, well, a little bit unfortunate there from the kickoff straight away. You know, of course, Orgless just scored a 0-second goal, but instantly after the kickoff, it has been a decider from Mercury. But I think it was Benny just slotting it in, of course, just 2 seconds, 3 seconds in OT. So that's kind of fortunate for him. But I mean, you know, they still have a lot of games left in this series. Of course, the best of 7 series, Orgless, they know that they have the experience, of course, in the level like this in the Vortex division. They know that they still have plenty of room left to still take games in this series. It's only been game 1. It's only been, you know, maybe a little bit of a warm-up for Orgless after having a 1-hour break. So let's see if they can actually bring something more in next game, because it has been close. They had a really, really good comeback, of course, being 2 goals down, bringing it back to OT in the 0-second with a 0-second goal. And then in the end, losing it in OT is a little bit unfortunate, but I definitely can see Orgless having some potential in this game or in this series in general.
Yeah, they've definitely got potential either way to come straight off the kickoff already in the area. Benny not able to do much. Tommy gets rid of it for the time being, but Nugget comes in to get the block and send it straight back in the area. Milne not able to do much. Props it up, gets another touch on it. He goes for another, but unable to make connection with the ball. Ball's going to send it in to the area, and Tommy with a touch to get rid of it for the time being. And it is just a bit of back and forth at the minute. 30 seconds gone in this game as it comes into the area. It's in front of the goal. Nobody could do anything. It is still there, and Force is forced to get rid of it for the time being. Oh, that was very close indeed.
Now Milne in the corner tries to get again. He does need Blau. We'll just get it out for now. The ball just falls off the ceiling. Still in the corner of Mercury eSports though. Force trying to force a 50. It's Milne with the shot. It's a little bit wide though. Blau has a little bit of control there, gets it past one, gonna get it past the last one. He's trying, it will be saved by Force on the crossbar. Nugget, but just puts it on his own back wall as Blau to the right side, input pass to Benny. Benny towards the corner, and Milne just waiting in the corner there. Can't quite get any contact with the ball. Nugget with a great save, and now really the pressure's coming out of the Mercury eSports offense.
Yeah, Orgless, they've hit the regain in terms of their defense. We're seeing some great defense so far. That's 2 saves in a matter of about 20 seconds there. And that is what you need to be doing. It is so great to see, because the shambles that was that first game, it seems that they've had a slight regain from. Whether or not that will translate to the rest of the game and result in any kind of victory is yet to be seen. But they're going to need to relieve that pressure quickly, because I say it all the time, if you keep punching that wall, eventually it will fall down.
Yeah, that's very well said. 3 minutes to go, and Mercury was really trying to get the first goal of this game, but here is Orgless. Here's Force trying to get the first goal of game number 2, and they know they really, really want to get this game, because of course, last game number 1, a very close game between these both teams, but of course only one winner, lost Mercury eSports. Now Benny tries to force a shot on target, but Force easily saved, easily getting it all over to the other side of the pitch actually with the air dribble. Tommy tries to force a 50, but it looks like a whiff there from his opposition. Force trying to force 50 now against Blau. Blau now with the shot. Benny tries to get it in from the back wall, but can't quite get the angle. There's Milne. Not much boost to work with. Tries to go plus all the 3 defenders, but that's not really gonna work with 10 boost. Benny, well, leaves it for Blau here. Blau really gets another air dribble. Really the game of air dribbles so far. Just trying to create something spectacular with those air dribbles, but nothing as spectacular yet. It is still a goalless game in game number 2. 5 shots for Mercury eSports, 3 shots for Orgless, and really we're still waiting for an opening goal in game number 2.
Yeah, you kind of just need to switch it up a bit, you know. You've got the basics down again. You know, you've hit that regain. You need to just and it does end up actually going in there. I did not know whether that was going in. I really thought the player would have been able to save that. But 1 minute 53 and Orgless, they've done exactly what they needed to do. They caught that little mistake, which is what you need, and now they lead in this game.
Yeah, the rotation there was very, very short. I think the third man pushed up a little bit too far, pushed up a little bit too quickly, while the second man was still rotating back. And then, yeah, you know, you don't really have someone in goal. It is a good shot from Milne, but definitely would have been saved if there was a third man being able to save it, being more in the net, being more pushed back in the goal. But now it is Orgless with the first goal of this game, number 2, of course. Now Nugget trying to go for a second one. Milne tries to control it, gets it to the side wall. Beats Blau into the middle, force now with the shot, going for the double tap. He gets a double tap, it will be saved by Tommy. And that could have been a spectacular second goal yet again by Voice. We've seen him making some very good goals already in his only game number 2.
Yeah, got to give a lot of credit there to Benny, though, as well. Not sure if you noticed that, but getting a great demo. And if that demo hadn't have happened, who knows if that would have ended up being a goal or not. But completely took him out of the equation. And when I say switch things up, that is what you've got to do. You've either got to switch up your strategy by doing things like bumps and demos a bit more, or you have to switch up the way in which you are going around. And at the minute, 50 seconds on the clock, Orgless, they're having a great game so far. They have really stepped up from that last game, and I don't know whether it was just the first game nerves, trying to feel your opponent and figure out what was going on there, or whether they've genuinely just struggled and have finally sort of got their stuff together. But it's working well for them. They are in the lead in this game, and I think it will be crucial to the rest of this series.
Definitely 15 seconds to go. Mercury eSports desperately looking for the equalizer in game number 2. Of course, we saw a 0-second goal in game number 1. But let's see if we can see that here. Well, it's not going to work if the Mercury eSports defender just backflips there. But Tommy now trying to go for the shot, but it's not going to be anywhere near the target. Now see the ball probably going to be chopped down. Nugget will just drop it down. No defender of Mercury eSports being able to keep the ball up. And this game number 2, it actually will be Orgless taking this game. And it is all equalized, 1 each. And we all have a best of 5 series to come up now.
Absolutely. 1-1 is the scoreline, and it was some great rotation and great defending on the behalf of Orgless compared to that first game. Mercury eSports, they didn't do anything particularly bad. They just struggled a little bit in terms of actually hitting the ball when they needed to. For example, that goal, that could have been saved, but unfortunately, it wasn't. And that's sort of, well, that's the game, isn't it, really? You've got to save it, otherwise you're going to end up in these situations when there's only 1 goal in it, you know. Both teams, it was a very equal game. There was nothing particularly special, but it worked for them. It just took that 1 mistake to have that breakthrough. And when you're at this level, you can't afford to make them mistakes because your opponent will just make you pay.
Yeah, definitely on this level in the Vortex Playoffs, you can't make any mistakes because, well, you will get capitalized on it. Well, you could maybe make those mistakes in lower divisions, but here, of course, in the Vortex division, the highest division of Slipstream, no room for any mistakes, and you will be capitalized on. You will be punished for it. And that's definitely, you know, what happened here in this game number 2. And this game number 3, of course, it will be an important game again, the game to put your side in the lead again. Well, I say again, would be for Mercury eSports to put themselves in the lead again. And for, of course, Orgless, it would be the first lead in the World Series. And now it will be Tommy going towards his own goal. A little bit questioning there, but Benny will just take it over from him. Tommy gets it over 1. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from him, but really good save, to be honest, from Nugget. Did not expect him to still get it there. Milne now with a redirect. Tommy will just get it out of harm's way. And an early start there from both teams, actually. It was Mercury eSports' dangerous offense, but then the other side, it was Nugget, or actually Milne, with the shot as well. So maybe, you know, signs of a really eventful game 3 here.
Possibly, yeah. It's one of them where they've come out of the gate strong, some great shots and great saves on both parts. And that is what you love to see. There's no point in games where it's all one-sided, when it's neck and anybody can take it. This is the stuff that keeps you on the edge of your seats.
Yeah, most definitely. Tommy into the corner, into the middle now. A miss there from the Orgless defender, but no one really there from Mercury eSports to punish them for it. And the corner, Blau tries to take control. 50 against Milne. The great 50 from Blau, actually. From his own corner, gets a really good 50, falls. 50 boost to work with, tries to get a ball into the middle, but Tommy easily take it over. Infoot pass to Blau, and Blau will try to get a shot on, but it will be saved by Milne. Now, 2 players on the backboard from Orgless. Not really ideal there, and Mercury eSports will take the benefit out of that.
Yeah, we were just speaking about how the little mistakes And that mistake of the positioning of both of Orgless' defenders there really cost them. And at this point, Mercury eSports are in the lead, and you've got 3 minutes and 40 to do something about it. But who's to say that Mercury are going to make a mistake in that 3 minutes and 40? That could be the goal that seals Mercury this game.
Well, yeah, could be, but it is still 3.5 minutes in this game number 3, and I think really Orgless, they have the capability to come back from this, to get the equalizer. And I mean, we have seen a really eventful start of this game number 3, so I definitely do not think it's going to be a 1-goal game here in game 3, but we still have to see. Everything can happen in Rocket League, of course. Plan now, not much boost to work with into the wall, but Mill will just take it over. Benny tries to find his teammate in the corner. Well, he finds his teammate, but Force is in the way as well. Tommy will take it over. Mill in the corner, pops it up for himself, follows it up, gets one touch, maybe gets another, goes for the air dribble, tries to get a 50, force a 50 against Benny, and Bammo coming out from Tommy on Force in the Orgless goal, but now the ball off the crossbar, really unfortunate there for Blau, as Tommy will try to keep the ball in the offensive half, but now finally it will be Orgless with a little bit of rest, with a little bit of possession, and maybe try to find an offense. Well, no, Nugget instantly gets demoed, but you know, we also really seeing Orgless being a little bit pushed in this game number 3 so far.
Yeah, it's one of them where it's been a very eventful game so far. You know, both teams have had opportunities, so whether or not this 1-goal advantage will stay is yet to be seen. But at the minute, Orgless, they seem a little bit trapped in their area. Maybe switch it up a bit, try some fakes, go for some flicks, do something a bit more mechanical as opposed to doing very standard stuff. Even some demo plays to try to disrupt the gameplay, you know, anything just to try to break through that defense. Because otherwise, you're just going to be sat there and you're not going to get what you need as it again comes in, hits the post, and Tommy tries to pop it back in again, and the clearance is there. So definitely just need to switch it up as the shot comes in and Benny forced to make it yet another save.
Without any boost, still gets a good hit, but Force will just take it over from him. 1.5 minutes to go, and Orgless, the time is ticking for them. They really want to score rather sooner than later. Well, we know they can score in that 0-second mark, just like we saw in game number 1. But right now, they can't afford a second goal against them, but Blau will just do it. We'll get a second for Mercury eSports. A great solo play by him, gets it all up by himself, goes for the air dribble, gets a dunk as well. With 1 minute 25 seconds to go, Mercury eSports with a 2-goal cushion.
Yeah, that positioning was so perfect. You know, he got it up there, and he was able to read his opponent really well and figure out where they were going to go and just get in the way to stop it from going any further. Didn't need to do anything particularly special once he got that placement, and it worked really well for him. And that is the kind of things that you need. At this point, 2 goals down, 1 minute 12 seconds. We know it can happen. We saw the drama earlier as it's going into the... Ooh, forced to make that save. Very spicy game at this point. Orgless, they are trying to hang on with only a minute remaining.
Yeah, they've just been setting goal for so long. At some point, it will be Mercury eSports just taking that 3rd goal. It was just waiting. So many shots fired on the goal of Orgless. And finally, one just fell in. And, you know, Orgless, they want to go at the other side. They needed it for this game. But I think now we can go, you know, game done and dusted. Unless we see a big turnaround in this game. We see actually Orgless beginning to play really well in this game number 3. But so far, Mercury eSports... Oh, that's a flip reset. Oh, Benny gets the 4th for Mercury eSports. The best goal of this game so far. And in what kind of fashion that is.
Oh, and just another little thing of beauty from Benny. That's exactly what you need. And I keep saying that because that's exactly how I feel. It's just what you need at all times. It's one of them. Like, Orgless, they hit that initial regain. But you're going to need a massive regain at this point. With a 4-goal disadvantage in this game, it's very unlikely that you're going to get anything from it. It's possible. We all know how dramatic Rocket League can be. But realistically, you need to hit a regain, figure out your strategy before going into the next game. Because otherwise, you're just going to end up with the same outcomes.
No, they might get a goal here. No, they can't even score into the open. 70 seconds to go. It's really not been the game for Orgless here in this game number 3. They had a good game in game 2, but nothing to be seen here in game 3 as they are going down with 4. Well, I want to say 4-0, but it will be 4-1. Force will just get one back, but it's really too late to get a comeback going. They needed this goal way earlier than in the last 5 seconds of this game. Force will just easily get it in. beats out his opponents. And really, Orgless, it's been pretty much all Force. Force with the goals, but really Nugget and Milne, they need to step up more if they really want to create a challenge, to create a struggle for Mercury Esports. Because Force, he's been doing alright, but I think, from the other players, I haven't really seen too much. I want to see more from Milne and from Nugget. Force, he's getting in those goals, but Mercury Esports, of course, we've just seen a 4-1 against Orgless. It is game 3 going to Mercury Esports, and if it keeps like this in the next game, then we will be seeing Mercury Esports with yet another dominant performance. So Mercury Esports, they know what to do, but Orgless, they really need to change up something because it's just not working at all for them.
100%. At the end of the day, Mercury, they're on a roll, but that one goal at the end of that could be crucial to the mindset of Orgless and the mindset of Mercury. If Mercury have potentially lost confidence from that, Orgless gain confidence, that could switch the game entirely and switch up exactly what they do. Whether or not that will be the case is yet to be seen, but it's really, really important that we realize sort of how vital that one goal can be, because although Mercury, they had a very dominant game and they managed to just get goal after goal after goal, Orgless, that last goal might switch up the momentum a little bit. It might not, or we might end up with the exact same situation. But at the end of the day, if Orgless want something from this, they're going to have to switch it up. They're going to have to do something different. And they're flat out just going to have to get some goals.
Yeah, most definitely they need some more goals than last game. They need those goals earlier as well, because we have seen, those goals. We have seen a goal falling in the last 5 seconds of the game, but it was just way too late for Orgless to create any danger for Mercury Esports in game 3. But this game number 4, it could be equalized again by Orgless. Of course, we saw game 1 going to Mercury Esports, then game 2 going to Orgless, now game 3. Well, game 3 we have seen that going to Mercury as well. Game 4 now, if it's going to be the same pattern, then, Orgless is going to take this one, but I can't really see that happening after that last game. Game 3 was a little bit shaky there from Orgless. And really what you expect, of course, from the first place of league play in the Vortex division. Favorites going into these playoffs, but they definitely do not seem to play very, very well. I want to see more from them in this playoffs, because they only have 1 life left here in this series, of course, in the lower bracket. They can't lose this series. Counter both teams, of course. The winner goes to the final to face Little Wayman. Oh, that's a really good air drag there from Falls. Can't quite get it in though. Of course, a loser. They will be dropped out of Vortex Playoffs. Haven't won anything. And of course, the top 2, they will receive a prize pool as well. €300 prize pool for the top 2. So, definitely something to play for here in the loser bracket final.
Everything to play for indeed, as Penny again getting a touch there. 3 minutes 45 left at the clock, and the ball is just left. What are they doing? The communication off point clearly from Orgless there, and Nugget misses it again. What is this shambolic defending that we are seeing here? Please, can they get their stuff together, because otherwise it's going to result in a goal, because it's straight back in that area. They had so many opportunities there to get rid of it, and they just didn't. And you have to be better than that, because at the end of the day, you're in the top division of ECC. It isn't an easy thing to do, and I'm shocked that that didn't result in a goal for them, but that was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Mercury Esports could have got a goal. There are already 4 shots from them in this game against only 1 of Orgless. The pressure, again, just like in game 3, has been pretty much all going in favor for Mercury Esports. Now trying to get a shot in. Penny trying to pass it past the opposition, but couldn't quite get it. We now still see Mercury Esports. They just have all the control. Oh, that's an infield pass. Not an infield pass. No, it's not going to connect in the last pass. But, we all see Mercury Esports connecting with each other way more than Orgless. And, just controlling the ball way more, controlling the play. And, Orgless, they kind of, just running after, after the things that Mercury Esports are doing. Mercury Esports really controlling the play, and Orgless trying to do something against it, but usually it just ends up to possession for Mercury Esports. Mercury Esports having all the chances of the road to score, and finally they can get one in. I mean, I've said it, it's just waiting for a goal for Mercury Esports. Those in this game number 4, it's been all Mercury Esports.
I have no words, honestly. This entire defense has actually been more disappointing than Victor's hat from earlier. Like, what on earth is going on? There was 3 defenders there. 3 defenders. There were no demos, there were no bumps, And anything, even a triple commit would have been more helpful than what happened there. It's just mistake after mistake, stupid defense, and lack of communication from Orgless. They are desperate and they are panicking. 1 minute 55, they're going to need to do some demos. They're going to need to clutch up and realize to get them basics back, get your rotation sorted, figure out who is doing what, because otherwise you're going to be in the same situation in a minute's time and you're going to be 1-0 down, hoping for a goal, desperate for a goal, making mistakes, and that is going to lose you the game.
Yeah, change of play style definitely is needed here for Orgless. You know, it's every time just banging the ball away, hoping the ball will fall somewhere good, but you know, that's not really gonna work. That's a good infield pass. Finally, we see some creativity in the offenses of Orgless, but it's not running into a goal yet. But if they keep doing this, then definitely I can see something happening. It's only a 1-goal lead now for Mercury eSports. There's still everything possible. Orgless now kind of coming back in this game, going towards the for Mercury eSports, creating some offenses, and that's really what they need here. 1 minute to go. It's been all Mercury eSports, but you know, Orgless, they can be quite lucky that Mercury haven't scored more than just one single goal. Oh, that's a really good dunk there by Tommy. But no one really there from Mercury eSports to follow that up. You know, it was just laying in the center of the field in front of Orgless goal. No one really touching the ball. And I would have expected someone from Mercury eSports to be there, a second man to hit the ball in. But 40 seconds to go. Orgless trying to get that first goal for them in this game number 4. But, you know, it's just not really happening. It doesn't look really bright for them. They have that pressure a little bit, but nothing is really threatening too much for the Mercury eSports defense.
Yeah, Mercury, they're being really smart about this. They've got the lead, and like you said, you know, that ball, yes, it was left wide open and someone could have got that, but the fact that somebody hasn't gone for it has meant that there's somebody else in defense, which is really smart to do. You don't want to be too aggressive at this point. You know, you're 1-0 up. There isn't loads to do as it comes in again. It's a goal with 9 seconds to go. Orgless, they have just come back in this, and they've done it in such a good way.
Yeah, Milne first with air jump, and then Nugget will just dunk it in. Will just, you know, redirect it in really. Follows it up from Milne's air jump, and then Nugget just double jumps into the ball, getting the ball in. They equalize here. Again, a late equalizer from Orgless. We have seen that in game number 1 as well. That time in the 0-second mark. Well, now it is still 0 seconds. They try to keep it up. They know game number 1. They remember game number 1. But so do Mercury eSports. They want to drop it now. Oh, well, Tommy, he will keep it up in front of zone goal, actually. Now it will be Nugget trying to go for a shot. Benny keeps it up. Front of zone goal. Oh, that's not the best touch. That falls going for the shot. Nugget now going for yet another shot. But Tommy will save it this time. And yet again, we are seeing an overtime in this series.
Yeah, mistakes there from Mercury keeping that up. Tommy wanting a bit more out of the game, trying to get it. But again, more mistakes. He just sent downfield. And Nugget is there to try and get rid of it for the time being. Not able to. But Milne is there. Trying to go impatient with it for the time being, but not able to do much. Going to send it back downfield. The block is there again. Milne trying to send it to the center. But again, clearance after clearance after clearance. A little bit of back and forth as Tommy gets the demo on Milne. Ball's going to try and get rid of it for the time being. Just hits up. A great bump comes in from Tommy to take Milne out of the situation for now. Again, it is just sent downfield. Great rotation on the part of Mercury eSports. They're going for it, and it comes in yet again. The pressure is on an Orgless. Oh, they're going to need to switch something up, get it out, and they're going to have to do it very quickly because otherwise they are going to lose this game.
That was a golden opportunity there with the shot from Mercury eSports. Now yet another shot from Benny, but Milne this time will be in the way to prevent that going in this overtime. Now Tommy with yet another shot but falls. Will just get the save already. 8 saves for Orgless. Really, the saves are keeping coming in, but they need to get in offense rather sooner than later because really the time is really taking for them. They can't concede now because of course then it will be Mercury eSports being in match point. Orgless, they expected way more from the Vortex Playoffs, and here they are in overtime. Mercury eSports, of course, being the better team as of yet, of course having a game in hand as well. But you know, nothing is done yet here in this series. Now in this best of 7 series, 4 is trying to get it past his opponent, but doesn't really work for Milne now with a shot with a chip over the goalkeeper off the post. Cheeky from him, but doesn't really quite work out. It was a good idea. Nugget now into Milne maybe. We saw the connection already earlier, but this time it will not really work out. Benny just get it to the middle as we see Blau waiting there. Oh, that's a good shot, but it will be off the crossbar. It will be Milne getting the ball before it hits the crossbar. Nugget into the middle. But no really there to follow it up from Orgless. Now Benny going for the jumping for that off the wall, but Milne will just clear that now. But really, Mercury eSports keeping firing off the shots and keeping up that offensive pressure. But really, it's really been waiting for them to score. And it's really been the story of this series. Mercury eSports a lot of pressure, but every time they can't really get the ball past the Orgless defenders. But the Orgless defenders can't really get the ball into the offense either.
Orgless, you know what? Give them credit where it's due. They have withstounded a hell of a punishment at this point. Again, it's coming back and forth, bounces off the backboard, and it is back and forth at the moment. And the key to the entire play was the boost management and the boost starving that was going on. They came out and thought, you know what, we're going to have to switch it up. They came out and did some demos. They went, regained, got some boost, and now it is proven to be a little bit better for them. They're no longer stuck in that half, which is great to see for if you are a member of the Orgless side. But you're going to have to do something a bit more spicy. Give us a bit more creativity as it comes into the area. And again, the block is there. Quick rotations from Fords. And honestly, oh, this is going to be a very spicy overtime at this point. 3 minutes and 12 seconds into OT, and it is still anybody's game.
Yeah, 3 minutes in this OT, like you said. Quite a long OT. Much longer than, of course, the Game 1 OT, where we saw pretty much 4 seconds in that OT. Way shorter than this one. Them now coming out from Nugget on Blau, trying to get something in. Orgless, they need that goal. They really need this game. They don't want Mercury eSports to go in the lead by 2 games, going into match point into next game as well. Mercury eSports only 1 goal away from that match point in game number 5. But for now, it's Orgless in the offense, trying to create something, getting it into the middle. Not really there to follow it up well. It will be a shot, but it will be really, really big. No danger at all there for the Mercury eSports defenders. Nugget will try to get it into the middle. Milne now going for the shot, but Blau there. Oh, I think that's just straight in. That is going to be straight in. Blau with a beautiful interception will win this game for Mercury eSports. 4 minutes of OT, and will be decided here. 4 is a big overcommit from him, but Blau, really, really good interception from him nonetheless.
Yeah, a great OT. An issue there was definitely boost management towards the end of that, and how that ended up going in that net. Like, come on. We talk about the basics all the time, having your rotation down, knowing your positioning. You just can't overcommit like that. And when you're in against a team as good as Mercury eSports, they will capitalize on it and make you pay. And that's exactly what we've just seen. It was a great game, don't get me wrong. And that overtime, it was spicy and could have gone anybody's way. But you can't afford to do that, because otherwise Mercury will capitalize on it. They have capitalized on it, and now they are on series point.
Yeah, they are on series point, and Orgless, they need to change something. And I think, they have, played a lot against this side already in this series. They know how they play, and I hope for Orgless, they know what they're doing wrong as well. I think, what they should do is, control the ball a lot more than they're doing right now, because they're just giving the ball away way too much. Yeah, you're getting out of defense then, but just for a little bit of time. You can't create any offense then, as it will just be Mercury eSports firing yet another shot. You've seen so many shots from Mercury eSports as well in last games. And, Orgless, they didn't really have much to say. They brought that game to an OT, but, it nearly went in there for Orgless. But, Orgless, they need to change something. It is game number 5, and it is match point here for Mercury eSports.
Absolutely, Benny sending it straight back into the area. Blau, what a dunk from Blau and Mercury. That 4 minutes 38 on the clock, but they are on the way to that grand final if the scoreline stays like this.
Yeah, beautiful placement there from Blau. The job done, perfectly placed, and Mercury eSports early lead for them, 22 seconds in this game number 5, match point time, and now it will be Orgless, not much time left. They need to score at least 1 goal in this game to send this game to an OT possibly and prevent Mercury eSports getting as much pressure as they had in the last 2 games. It will be, there's a great play there between the 2 players of Orgless. That's really what we want to see. Nugget now with the shot, getting saved by Blau. Now we might see some big actions coming out of this game. Some great offenses. Of course, gets the ball into the middle. Medi flicks it over, but don't really get to follow it up as Nugget will put the ball back in the middle, but no one there from Orgless to take it over. Milne controls the ball really. Tommy can't really control the ball as Milne is there for the 50. Nugget backflips as he saw Blau going up for that, of course. 30 boost to work with. He just clears the ball away. And yet again, a player there from Mercury eSports taking it over, but this time falls without boost. I think, you know, the Orgless players really look boost starved. I think that's something Mercury eSports are doing really, really well as well. Just boost starving Orgless till the death, and until, you know, the players have no boost at all anymore to work with. I think that's also how they scored the majority of the goals. Mercury eSports doing that really, really well in this series.
Yeah, they've done it the entire series, haven't they? It's just been occasion after occasion of Orgless not being able to do much because they've not got that boost. There's only so much you can do without it. And don't get me wrong, considering the scorelines that we have seen, you know, these 1-0, the overtimes, like, it has worked really well for them. And they have stuck around considering the amount of boost starving that's been going on, which just shows the level of these players. It is working really well for Mercury, but they are going to have to do something and switch it up a little bit to try and get something. As the shot comes in, the goal comes in from Tommy. 2 minutes 57 on the clock, and Mercury eSports are 2-0 up.
And it's such an easy goal as well, you know, just, you know, the player of Orgless on the back who couldn't quite get a good clear. No one backing him up in goal either, and you know, that's just a really easy goal there for Tommy. Just gets the ball in, shoots the ball into the open net. Not the hardest goal he will ever make in his life. And Tommy, you know, he will just take it over, trying to go for the third goal, but nothing as of happening yet. But, you know, 2-goal lead, half time left, and again, it's not been the game of Orgless. We have seen them coming back several times in this series, but I have to say Mercury eSports being the much better side. Oh, Tommy trying to go for something squeaky there, but couldn't quite get it from the back wall. Now blow. Oh, it is an open net again, and you know, the open nets, they're just all over the place here. Orgless every time leaving the net wide open, and I think, you know, at this rate, you know, Mercury eSports, they more than deserve here to take this game as well.
Mercury, they have shown why they are the better team, and there is no other word other than they are better. It's as simple as that. When you play as well as Mercury have played, they came in with a great strategy of just repeatedly knocking down that wall, boost starving like hell, but a great shot comes in from Fours, and Benny forced to make the save for the time being. When they've been able to boost starve as much as they have, and they've had their rotations on point pretty much the entire series, it has gone well. You know, credit to Orgless here though. They have been able to come up with some creative things to do. They have tried some team plays. We've seen Fours has stepped up massively. It's just Milne and Nugget, they haven't necessarily stood out as much as we would have liked. And unfortunately, that leaves them with a 3-goal deficit at this point.
The winner of this series, of course, goes to the grand final to face Little Waymans. Of course, top 2 of the Vortex division will receive a prize pool there. But, of course, for probably it will be Mercury eSports taking this game. Definitely when Tommy scores it, oh, Tommy just gets it in as well. But, you know, of course, Mercury eSports, a really good side, but they have to face Little Waymans, but with a 1-goal lose as well. Of course, the, Little Waymans have a 1-goal lead going into the grand final, coming out of the winners bracket. Well, of course, now we see Mercury eSports coming out of the losers bracket, but a great run from Mercury eSports, to be honest, in the losers bracket. First beating 125Q in game number 7. Here they are, here in, well, game number 5 actually, already trying to close out this series, and probably they will do so. 4-goal lead, 1 minute 20 seconds to go. Little Waymans probably are looking at Mercury eSports now, trying to see what their strengths are, because, you know, Mercury eSports, they are playing really well. They have played really well against 125Q, but in this game, this series, they have been playing phenomenal. 1 minute to go, and really Mercury eSports, they showed why they are here in the Vortex division playoffs, and that will be 5. Benny will just get it in. Probably this game has been done and does it already, but well, let's just make it 5, Benny thought.
Yeah, you might as well show off while you can. At the end of the day, they have had a brilliant strategy, and that strategy could prove very, very helpful in our next game coming up on stream as well, which will... It's going to be such a spicy grand final of the Vortex division as another shot comes in. Another goal. Benny is putting on an absolute clinic, and it has gone shambolic for Orgless at this point.
Yeah, the 6th goal for Mercury eSports. I think at this point Orgless already gave up. You know, they just see their playoffs just fade away. First place of league play, pretty much unbeaten until the last week of league play, where they had a double forfeit. So technically, with all the games they've played, haven't lost any single series. But now they have, first against Little Waymans, but now here as well against Mercury eSports. Well, look at this, 6-0 in game number 5. It is a statement really from Mercury Esports going towards the grand final of the Vortex division. Well, they will try to make it 7 here as well as the buff falls into the middle. Don't really have to follow it up, but really, I think Mercury Esports, of course, it will be Little Wayman having a goal in end. Oh, will that be 7? I think that, yeah, Benny will just get his hat trick. We'll get the third goal for him. And, you know, Mercury Esports bringing this game to a 7-goal difference. But, you know, 21 seconds to go. It has really been Mercury Esports pretty much all series long, you know. They've just had all the pressure on Orgless. From game number 2, I thought maybe, you know, Orgless, they took that game number 2. Maybe there is some potential for them. Oh, that will be the 7-1. I think yesterday we saw a little bit of the same scenario as well, where it was a 7-goal lead for Mercury or for one team, and then the other team just decides to own goal. We see the Brazil, but yeah, it is quite embarrassing at this point for Orgless.
Orgless, it's been a pleasure. It's been very unfortunate watching the abysmalness, and I think that they have literally given up at this point. They've given up because they know there is nothing that they can do. But at the end of the day, when you're playing against a team that is as good, you know, realistically, this has been countless weeks of hard work, countless months of hard work as a team to come out and be able to play at the top division this well. And what a great strategy they have. And wait a minute, if they aren't watching, oh, they're going to be in for a surprise with the amount of boost starving and the great rotations coming in. Whether or not we'll see that in the next game is another one. And just for a little bit of prettiness, Cloud's going to slot it home once again. Whether or not Orgless will decide to do something in between this season and next to hit the regain and improve on what they haven't necessarily had going for them this time around and find a strategy that will combat that of Mercury Esports is yet to be seen. But 0 seconds on the clock, and that is going to be it. Mercury Esports, they're going to advance to that grand final.
Yeah, and Orgless, you know, first place of league play. But in this game alone, we see a triple hat-trick from the players of Mercury Esports. A triple hat-trick, a 9-1 in the last game. Benny with hat-trick, Blau with hat-trick, and Tommy with hat-trick for Mercury Esports. And that's just a statement, like I've already said, you know. They have just shown that they're just playing so well, and they are ready for the grand final. They're ready to, you know, they've already placed to the top 2 teams of the ECC, but can they crown themselves to the top team? It will be either, of course, Little Wayman, who, of course, have a game in hand going into the grand final, or it will be Mercury Esports. One of those 2 teams will be crowning themselves as the Vortex division winners. But, you know, we are going to see that, of course. Mercury Esports, a very dominant performance from them, 4-1, and of course in the last game, a 9-1 win in game number 5. I expected a way closer series. I actually predicted Orgless to win this series, but it wasn't even close. It was not close at all, and will be Mercury Esports taking the win in quite a dominant fashion.
Absolutely, and it's going to be one of them where Mercury Esports, they're going to go into the next game. Hopefully they've got a very similar strategy because it did work really well. Whether or not it will work well in that next series is yet to be seen. But that is going to be it from you and I. We are going to have a quick swap of casters, but it's been a pleasure to cast with you as always, sir. And honestly, we're in for a juicy grand finals coming up very shortly. We are going to head to a quick break, so don't go anywhere.